Okay, we are going to be doing an online simulation. And so the very first thing we're going to do is let's go ahead and click on to the website and just click Run Now. If it doesn't work, you can use the download. All right, so we've got this little setup here, and you're going to be looking at projectile motion. And you'll notice that in this first table, you've got your angle as 0 the entire time, and you've got an initial velocity. And so the question is, how does the initial velocity affect the other variables when it's projected horizontally? Now, hopefully you realize if you come over here and do this, 0, that nothing interesting is going to happen. And primarily because there's not very much height. So what I would do is let's go ahead and we can lift this up anywhere that we want. And now we could actually get some measurements. Now you can pick whatever object you want. So let's say that you want a bowling ball. And since we are in a region with no air resistance, it's going to behave the same as a baseball or a golf ball. And so I fire this. And I want to get some measurements. Now, if you look up here, you'll notice that you do have a range and you do have a height. But that height of a negative 11.8 meters, what do you think that negative sign represents? Okay, why would my change in position be a negative value? And now, if I want to change my speed, I can come over to this section and I can change it to whatever values that you want. And you can keep firing and like so on. So that's how you're going to be doing the first part of this, this simulation. Now, I'm going to bring him back down, the cannonball back down to about ground level. And I've got these little crosshairs to represent ground level. And the next thing that we're going to do is, I'm scrolling down here, and this time we want to find out how does the angle affect the other variables. So now notice that the angle is changing while I'm going to keep the initial velocity the same. And so we want to see what happens with the range, the height, and time, and so forth. So we come back over here, and I'm going to erase everything because this is getting messy. And just for the heck of it, I'm going to put in 40 degrees. And I hit fire. And when I hit fire, it goes for a long way. Oh, and that is because I have an initial speed of 25. So let's go back to 15 and try that again. All right, so we hit the fire like so, and you're asked to find the different measurements, the time, and this 2.1 seconds would be okay. The range will be 24.5, and that will be okay. However, this 1.7 meters, if I'm looking at how high it goes, the maximum height, negative 1.7 meters is not going to be the distance it goes to go to this maximum height here. So that's where we're going to use the tape measure. And look at what happens as I bring this tape measure around like so. And I'm going to come over here, and notice I'm putting these crosshairs along this line, and that's because it's matching with the cannon. And so now I can bring this up here with the crosshairs like so. And now it would be 4.66 meters. Okay? And so you can go through and you're going to do the various experiments coming up with the different angles and the different ranges, height and time and so forth. And so hopefully this will be a little insight on how to do this experiment. Good luck!